When the words "I quit" came out of the creator's mouth, a lot of people immediately jumped to the same conclusion. They thought it meant the end of streaming, the end of content, the end of the journey they've been watching for years. But that reaction is exactly why this message matters, because "I quit" was never about walking away from streaming. It was about walking away from fear, limitation, and a version of life that was starting to feel too small. This isn't a goodbye, it's a reset. What the creator is really saying is that at some point in life, especially when you've achieved success in one lane, you have to stop and ask yourself a hard question. Is this all I am? Is this all I'm allowed to be? Or is there something deeper inside me that I've been ignoring because it feels risky to step outside the box people put me in? I quit is a declaration of self-reflection. It's the moment where someone looks at their life from a broad perspective and realizes that the world is bigger than one title, one platform, or one identity. Streaming may be what people know him for, but it is not the totality of who he is. There is more energy in him, more curiosity, more creativity, more hunger to build something lasting and meaningful beyond what's already been proven to work. That's why he says he quit thinking about goals without pursuing them. For a long time, those goals lived only in his head, not because he lacked ambition, but because fear was louder than desire. Fear of failing publicly, fear of being judged, fear of people saying, "Stick to what you're good at." Fear of stepping away, even slightly, from the thing that made him successful in the first place. He quit overthinking. He quit letting imaginary outcomes decide his future. He quit letting the question, "What if it doesn't work?" stop him from ever finding out if it could. And to really understand this mindset, he brings in a powerful comparison. The story of Louis Vuitton, not the luxury brand people see today, but the human being who started with nothing. A young boy born to a farmer and a hat maker, forced to work long days on a farm, who eventually became homeless as a teenager. Someone who could have easily accepted his circumstances as his destiny, but instead chose to push beyond them. That story isn't random, it's intentional, because before Louis Vuitton became a symbol of luxury, it was just an idea. Before it became untouchable, it was vulnerable. And vulnerability is what the creator is embracing now. When you see him in Italy, learning fabrics, touching materials, struggling with grips, cutting denim, sewing uneven lines, and making mistakes, that's the point. He's not trying to present perfection. He's trying to present process. He's choosing to be a beginner again in a world where people already see him as established. That takes courage. A lot of creators never do this. They stay locked in the thing that made them famous because it's safe, because it's predictable, because stepping into something new means opening yourself up to criticism. People will say you missed here, you missed there. They'll point out flaws they would never point out in a brand that's already been validated by time and status. But that's exactly why this journey matters. He doesn't want his brand to be untouchable. He wants it to be human. He wants people to see the failures, the doubts, the revisions, the patience it takes to make something from scratch. He wants an attachment to what he creates, not just his name slapped on a product. When he talks about self-doubt, it's important to listen closely. He's not depressed. He's not unhappy. He's facing something much more common and much more quiet. The fear of leaving what you're known for. The fear that if you step away, even for a moment, people will forget you. The fear that success in one area might disappear if you try to build another. That inner voice doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're standing at the edge of growth. And the advice he receives is simple but powerful. Don't let your mental take over. When the voices come, they're not there to destroy you. They're there to test you. They push you in one of two directions. You either give up or you keep going. Seeing a shoe come to life from nothing. Watching denim take hours, days, patience, and repetition. Learning that you can't rush craftsmanship. All of this teaches something streaming never could. It teaches stillness, presence, respect for process. That's why he says this is the first time he's discovered a true passion outside of content creation. Not a side hustle, not a quick brand flip. A real passion that requires him to slow down, learn, and accept that mastery takes time. And this is where the meaning of "I quit" becomes crystal clear. He quit being boxed in. He quit letting the internet decide the limits of his identity. He quit the idea that success in one lane disqualifies you from exploring another. If this message is resonating with you so far, take a second to subscribe, because this channel is about breaking mental ceilings, not reinforcing them. When he talks about creating studios, working with designers in Italy and America, and building a space where creativity can breathe, he's not talking about expansion for the sake of money. He's talking about alignment, about building environments that bring out the best work, not the fastest work. The pride his peers express isn't about fame, it's about work ethic, showing up every day, grinding quietly, choosing discomfort over complacency. And when he says the best part is making something that's never been thought of before, that's the heart of it. Creation is one of the purest forms of self-expression, taking something from your mind and turning it into something you can wear, touch, and share with the world is powerful. It's proof that you're more than a consumer of ideas, you're a source of them. The lessons continue. Focus on patience. Focus on form before design. Learn the fundamentals before chasing aesthetics. These aren't just fashion lessons, they're life lessons. Too many people want the spotlight without the foundation. Too many want results without repetition. And when he says he wants people to see everything, even the mistakes, it challenges the way we usually consume success. Most brands hide their failures. He wants to document them, not to glorify struggle, but to normalize it. Then comes the message about audience. Know who you're building for, grow with them, let your community evolve alongside you. That's how longevity is built, not by chasing trends, but by staying true to a vision and letting people mature with it. The advice to be still is one of the most important parts of this entire message. Stillness doesn't mean inactivity, it means silence, turning off the noise, stepping away from what's easy and familiar to hear what's actually calling you. That's what he did when he stepped away from streaming for a moment, not to quit, but to listen. And when fear creeps in, the reminder is powerful. You have a purpose. Fear doesn't get the final say. At a certain level, it's no longer just about you. It's about who you inspire by choosing courage over comfort. The name of the brand, VVET, meaning will live forever, isn't just about clothes. It's about legacy. It's about refusing to be reduced to one label. It's about building something that represents freedom of expression for creators of all kinds. That journal he talks about isn't merch. It's a statement, a hub, proof that ideas matter, that showing your process can unlock confidence in others who are still scared to start. I quit doesn't mean he's done. It means he's just getting started. If you believe in growth beyond labels, beyond fear, beyond what people expect of you, make sure you're subscribed. Messages like this don't come often, and they matter. At the end of the day, this is Kai behind the streams, a human being choosing to explore life fully, choosing faith, patience, and purpose over comfort, choosing to risk being misunderstood in order to live honestly. And that's something worth paying attention to.